How did the transistor shrink 1950s electronics? Imagine a world where radios, televisions, and computers fit in your hand. That's what the invention of the transistor made possible in the 1950s. Before this tiny device, electronics relied on vacuum tubes that were big, fragile, and used lots of power. Vacuum tubes could be the size of a fist or even larger, and they needed heavy cooling systems to prevent overheating. They also consumed a lot of electricity, which made devices bulky and expensive. The transistor changed everything by replacing those bulky tubes with a small, solid piece of semiconductor material. Made mainly from germanium and later silicon, transistors could amplify electrical signals without needing a vacuum or large heating elements. This meant electronic devices could become much smaller and more reliable. For example, radios shrank from large tabletop models to pocket-sized devices that you could carry around easily. The key to this size reduction was the development of the bipolar junction transistor in the early 1950s. It was more efficient and dependable than earlier designs. With this new transistor, engineers could build circuits that used less space and less power. The first transistor radios appeared in the early 1950s, showing how consumer electronics could be miniaturized. These radios were affordable and portable, making music and news accessible everywhere. The invention also paved the way for the first transistorized computers, like the Massachusetts Institute of Technology's TX0 in 1956. These computers were much smaller than their vacuum tube predecessors and used less electricity. They could perform calculations faster and more reliably. As manufacturing techniques improved, especially with the invention of the planar process in 1959, transistors could be mass-produced on a large scale. This process allowed multiple transistors and other components to be built on a single chip, called an integrated circuit. Integrated circuits drastically cut down the size and cost of electronics while boosting performance. Instead of individual parts connected by wires, entire circuits could be on one tiny chip. This innovation made electronic devices more affordable and accessible to the general public. The transistor's small size and efficiency symbolized the optimism of the 1950s, representing a future where technology would be more practical and widespread. In essence, the transistor shrank 1950s electronics by replacing the large, power-hungry vacuum tubes with tiny, reliable semiconductor devices. This breakthrough allowed electronics to become portable, affordable, and more durable, setting the foundation for the digital age we live in today.